Gone are the days when you had to use a old-fashioned broomstick and mop to get things done. We can pretty much automate our entire lifestyle, that is until the AI overlords take over anyway. With that said, today we're having a look at the Yeedi Cube Mopping and Vacuum 2-in-1 Robovac. This thing is a fully loaded piece of work that can do everything from doing traditional vacuuming activities to just outright doing a perfect mop job on all your floors. And we're going to go through all the features it has to offer and answer the question of whether or not this is the perfect Robovac for your needs. In terms of packaging contents, given the fact that this is a lot of hardware, it only makes sense that it comes in a fairly large box. Once you remove all the protective packaging and actually get to unfolding the box itself, there's a lot of stuff, but it's pretty straightforward. The primary contents include firstly, the cube station itself, which is the biggest piece of hardware here. Of course, the robot vacuum, a super handy and insightful quick start guide. You also have some additional accessories that you'll need to actually get started. Let's start with the Robovac itself. So this thing is fairly large, though not the largest Robovac I've seen. So it makes sense though, because you have a ton of sensors all across the body of this machine for maximum awareness. I also like the fact that it's very concise in its design. For example, all the operational buttons are located conveniently right at the top. And my favorite thing by far is the fact that they have a handle that you can literally use to just lift the Robovac. This is of the utmost convenience if you've ever owned a Robovac and you need to replace it somewhere else or for spot cleaning, for example. Additionally, you'll also notice that the actual top component can be ejected by holding the handle, and then this is the primary water tank, which can be filled through the water hole they've provided, and then it's sealed through the rubber cap. Super convenient again. It also has a dustbin located towards the rear side. It is ejectable, though there is an auto empty function, which I'll talk about in just a minute. At the bottom is where all the magic happens, quite literally. At the very rear end is where you have the mop attachment function. So it's a Velcro based solution. You just attach the mop, it sticks right on, and it's there. And then you'll notice in the center we have the wheels as well as a detachable roller blade. This is where the suction motor is. And since it's detachable, it's easy in terms of maintenance, and it's really easy to put back as well. Then you'll also notice you have two whisker bristles on either corner of the front of the vacuum to maximize the amount of dust you can capture, and they're pretty good in terms of their quality. And then at the very front, of course, you have more sensors and a wheel to keep it on balance. This vacuum does great across varying surfaces. Based on our test, anything that had to do with laminate flooring, tiles, or hardwood was easy peasy. Both mid-size, micro, and super micro debris were all picked up, usually on the first try. In our test, 98% of the time, everything was picked up without a second round or any need for additional cleaning. Carpeted surfaces are also quite effective in terms of the cleaning efficiency. So we noticed, thanks again to the powerful motor, that 95% of the times it would pick up everything on the carpet. And the carpets we were testing on were fairly thick in terms of their overall depth. So it's good to know that you can rely on this for all kinds of surfaces. Now, also, it's worth noting the mopping function here is just as impressive with up to 2,500 vibrations per minute. The mop here can easily dislodge most stains and clean them up on the first run. And the best part is that we found general stains are entirely removed as soon as the Robovac makes its way towards them. However, if you need additional cleaning power, you can change the intensity of the amount of water flow for those more deeper stains. Two other super noteworthy features I want to mention include the fact that you have built-in carpet detection with this robot vacuum, meaning it knows when it's on a carpeted surface, and not just that, it can physically raise the actual mop by 8 millimeters, meaning that it won't accidentally mop the carpeted areas, and also it won't make contact, preventing any sort of contamination or wet carpets. Once it passed the carpet area, it'll automatically bring the mop right back down and resume the mopping activities, meaning that you don't have to worry about any sort of contamination issues. Now, past that, you also have built-in spot cleaning. Simply take the Robovac to whichever area you want to quick clean for and start it through the button, and it'll clean a 4.9 cubic feet area, with it being the center point. The Cube Station has a lot going on. Aside from the obvious fact that it houses the Robovac when it's not in use, it has a lot of useful functions. Firstly, the top lid is removable. Behind it, you will find a dust bag, meaning when the Robovac comes back from a vacuum job, it has an auto empty function, and in about 10 seconds, it can completely empty out the dustbin, and then you can see the dust bag is removable, and inside all the dust is captured. Now, once that's all cleared out, you can put it back, put the lid back on. You also have a dirty water tank right next to it. So once your Robovacuum is done doing the mopping function, it comes back. It has built-in scrubbers at the bottom. And then once it cleans these mops using the scrubber functionality, all the dirty water is transferred over to the dirty water tank. And this is quite cool. You can kind of see it real time. And then once that's done, you simply remove the tank itself, which is detachable, and then you just go drain it out and you can see all that dirty water. And by the way, you don't have to regularly do this. There's a lot of capacity here, so it's only after a couple of mop jobs you really have to empty the dirty water tank. And the self-cleaning mop function, by the way, does a pretty darn good job. Here you can see I have the mop pad after a mop job once it's been cleaned, and it looks almost as good as new. But the best part is that the Cube Station has a built-in heat air dryer. It can reach a maximum temperature of up to 40 degrees and it will entirely dry the mopping pad until it detects no more moisture. This is also great for sanitary reasons. Now, the final thing I did want to mention here is that the Cube Station's base can be removed for easy cleaning and maintenance. All the functions I mentioned and so much more can be controlled through the Yeedi app. And by the way, once you initially run the Robovac, it maps out your entire floor with a very high degree of accuracy. Once this is done, from here you can control various functions like seeing where your robot is real time on the map floor. You can also control the type of cleaning job you want, vacuuming versus mopping, or just both, and even start stuff like spot cleaning directly from the app itself. Now, of course, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There are so many other functions you can do over here, but this is a very useful app to have. The Yeedi Cube is an extremely comprehensive piece of machine. Its cleaning functionalities go far beyond just traditional vacuuming. As we saw, it can do everything from mopping to making sure it's fully self-maintained, and it requires a nominal amount of maintenance and interaction, making it truly a smart appliance for your house. I also love how its affordable $600 price tag means that it is highly accessible for most people, and it's offering features that are often found in vacuums that cost twice as much, if not even more than that. And the best part is you're also not making any compromises. So all the functions we tested are really well tuned. The Robovac does the job it's intended for, and you can rely on it to do a great cleaning job wherever you might require to do so. If you want to learn more about the Yeedi Cube Robovac, I will leave a link in the video description below. Definitely check it out. There's a lot of cool stuff happening there. As always, if you guys enjoyed the content, make sure you hit that like button and sub to this channel. It genuinely helps me grow. Catch you in the next one.